Veterans Day, we can't ever fully repay those who served or their sacrifice, but we can at least say thank you. Here's a few ways we did just that today here in the Metro.
I'm the son and grandson of military veterans. Also, my father-in-law is a military veteran, my two grandfathers are military veterans, and my wife's a military veteran.
For Colonel Michael Power, this Veterans Day was about coming together with the community to honor those who serve our country.
The Albuquerque community is very patriotic. Many people have served in our community, and so it's extra special when we can get together at events like this to really talk about our veterans, to honor them, and to really just take the time to recognize them and support them.
And that is exactly what happened at the city's Veterans Day parade. Dozens gathered as veterans and ROTC groups marched from USS Bullhead Park to the New Mexico Veterans Memorial Park. One of the highlights for Commander Power is seeing the younger generations get involved.
And I think coming to events like this, we can hopefully set for them a good example, and hopefully some of them will also serve as they grow up. But either way, it's really just setting that example of how do we treat our veterans, how do we recognize them, and providing that support.
For Blue Star mothers, today is about continuing their service in supporting our troops.
It's an opportunity for us to recognize the sacrifices that so many that our veterans have made, because it's very important for us to let them know that they are appreciated, they are remembered, and their sacrifices.
And for veterans, it's all about honoring those who are protecting our country right now.
Well, the thing that Veterans Day means to me on the grand scale, it's not so much as to my service, but more so to those that are serving now and to the families that those are serving now.
At the Woodmark at Uptown, we saw a special Veterans Day celebration to honor their residents who also serve.
Everything that we have here today, everything that we have in America is due to our veterans. If they hadn't served, if they hadn't signed that paper, if they hadn't done the things that they did to get us to where we are today in our country, then, you know, that's all about freedom, all about being able to be who you are and live the life you want to live.
The veteran residents there include 2 female veterans, a rarity for that era. But the hope with all these events is really all about one thing.
Just thank a veteran. Thank a veteran. Acknowledge them. Show them that support. A lot of them didn't get that thank you when they came home.
Well, there you saw President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, who spent this Veterans Day at Arlington National Cemetery for a wreath-laying ceremony. President Biden led the delegation at this morning's ceremony and then placed the wreath with full military honors at the tomb of the unknown soldier. And then he spoke to those who gathered at the cemetery's Memorial Amphitheater.
So for all the military families, to all those with a loved one still missing or unaccounted for, to all Americans grieving the loss of a loved one who wore the uniform, Jill and I want you to know we see you, we thank you, and we'll never stop working to meet our sacred obligation to you and your families.
And also in honor of Veterans Day, the Marines got to ring the closing bell of the New York Stock Exchange.